All right, this is SAT percent review part C. Got 8 questions here, so let's get after it. Number 1, a moving company rents trucks, provides movers. These are the charges. So we got $40 per day, 75 cents per mile, and then the movers are $15 per hour per person. So there's 3 parts of the price here. So she wants to hire 2 movers. All right, so that's something we need to know. Truck's going to be used for 1 day. So let's kind of break this down. So the truck is going to be used for 1 day. So we got $40 for the truck. Total distance is going to be 40 miles. So I'm going to do this 75 cents. So 0.75 times 40 miles. So that's 3/4 of 40, which is 30. So that's going to be $30. So we're up to 30 bucks for the mileage. And then we are also going to get 2 movers from 3 to 7. So that's 4 hours. So we have 4 hours times $15 is $60, but that's per person. Per person. And we have 2 people. So it looks like $120 for the movers. So out the door, grand total. They didn't say anything about tax. So we're looking at $190 to move. So the question here, the final question says, to the nearest whole percent, what percent of the total cost, so out of the total cost, is my part or my top number, the cost of the movers. Well, the movers was 120. So the movers is what percent of the total? When I do 120 divided by 90, that comes out to be roughly, if you round it, 0.63, which is 63%. So the correct answer there is B. Number 2, somebody ordered lunch for a meeting. The bill is shown below. So we got sandwiches, salads, water bottles, cookies. Then there's a delivery fee, and then there's the grand total. The delivery fee is calculated as a percentage of the cost of the order. So percentage of the cost of the order. The grand total is the sum of the cost of the order and the delivery fee. So there was some subtotal before the delivery fee. So let's kind of find out what that was. So if I do the grand total and then I subtract the delivery fee, so I have 149.21, 149.21, take away 1946. We're looking at 129.75. So that's how much just this part right here was. All right. So that's the subtotal. So now what percentage of the cost of the order? So this right here is the cost of the order. So what percentage of the cost of the order is the delivery fee? So the thing you really got to be careful is that you're comparing the delivery fee to the cost and not to this. This is not the cost. That's the grand total. So when I work that out, 19.46 divided by 129.75, I get about 0.1499. So we're looking somewhere in the neighborhood of a 15% delivery fee. All right. Moving on down, go to the next section here, number 3. A brokerage company held a virtual stock investment competition, 1,001 competitors. They picked $25,000 worth of stock. And then they kind of see how the investments played out for 1 year. And the average is this, and the median or the middle number is right here. So of the following, which is closest to the percent increase? So we're looking for the percent increase or the percent change in the average value of the $25,000 investment. So I don't want to use this number. I want to use the mean. So basically, they started with $25,000. They now have $29,926. So to find the percent increase or decrease, the formula I like to use is you figure out what the change was and then divide it by the original amount. So the change is I can subtract these two numbers. I can do 29,000 minus the 25. So their portfolio there, their account increased by $4,900, and it used to be 25 grand. And so I'm just going to kind of work that out. 4926 divided by 25,000. And I get 0.19704. And if you move the decimal 2 places, you're getting 19.7%, which C is going to be the closest answer there. So that is a percent change problem. All right, number 4. Thomas installed a new stove in his restaurant. Time of installation, the stove was $800. He estimates every year the value will depreciate, so that means it's going to decrease by 20%. What is the estimated value 2 years after he installed it? All right, so remember, you always have a starting amount. You then go 1 plus or minus the percentage as a decimal, and then you end up with an ending amount. Well, we started with $800 stove. The first time we had a 20% depreciation, so 1 minus 0.20. That was after year 1. Year 2, we then do that again, 20% depreciation, and we have some ending amount. So cleaning this up a little bit, 800 times 0.80 times 0.80 gives me a grand total of 512. So the correct answer there, a little bit tough to see, was B. All right, let's go on down to the next page. Number 5. Martin spent $855 on expenses for a trip. The expenses include hotel, car, and meals. He spent 50% more for the hotel than for the car and the meals combined. All right, so let's just kind of get a handle on this. We have the hotel, we have the car, and we have the meals. And I'm writing it this way because it said that this hotel here is 50% more than those two added together. And then we know the total came out to be $855. Well, let's kind of just try some numbers here. This might be the easiest way. It says, how much did he spend in the hotel? So let's try this number for H. Let's try 570. Well, if the hotel was 570, if I do 855 subtract 570, that means that this would have to be 285 to equal out, right? And now let's just see. If we take his car plus his meal and we increase it by 50%, 1 plus 0.50, that does not come out to be $570. All right, let's just see what that comes out to be. So 285 times 1.5, that only comes out to be $427.50. So I know that it cannot be A. So then we go to the next one and we try 513. We're like, okay, if this is 513, it totaled up to 855. We could subtract those two numbers, 855 minus 513, and we get 342. Now let's just see, if we increase 342 by 50%, remember 1 plus 0.50 is an increase of 50%, that does come out to equal 513. So I believe the correct answer there is B. All right, moving over to number 6. Luis bought 2 movies at the store. Regular price is R. So R is regular price. Click out of this. So if R is the regular price, he charges Luis the regular price for the first movie. So we got charged R. And then we got a 25% discount. So a 25% discount, 1 minus 0.25, really means we paid 75% of full price, of regular price. So there's his subtotal. The movie plus the discount. So there's his total. Then if we do an 8% sales tax, we need to multiply by 1.08. And that'll take care of the sales tax too. So I think the correct answer here is C. Now, if you're not really good using the letters, you could just pick your own price. Like I might have said, well, let's just let regular price be, I'll pick a nice number like $10. So then the discount, 25% off, would be take away $250. So that's how much you got the second movie for on discount. So we had $17.50 worth of movies. Then we're going to add to that 8% of $17.50. So $17.50 plus 0.08 times $17.50 comes out to be $18.90. All right. So I let R equal 10. I got an answer of $18.90. You could then go through all of these equations and stick 10 in there until you get to the one that would be $18.90, which would also be C. I'm not going to plug all those in, but you could do it that way. All right, moving right along. The last two. These ones are tougher, and they're pretty much the same problem with one tiny tweak in the wording. So I'll just kind of tell you this one over here. The word men changes that problem. So in Italian class, 65% of the students are women. And at the end of class, 52% of the men and 44% of the women who took the class received a certificate. So let's lock this down. So we have women and we have men. If 65% of the people in the class are women, that means that 35% of the people in the class are men. So there's more women in the class. Now, of that 65%, 44% of the women got the certificate. So 44% of the 65% got the certificate. So let's do that. 44% of 65%. All right, so that right there, 0.44 times 0.65. So it looks like 0.286 or 28.6% of the people that got their certificate are women. And if we go through the men, all right, I'll do the men in red over here. 52% of that 35%. So 52 of the 35. That is 0.182. So 18.2% are the men. So the total, what percentage of the class, so what percentage of the entire class got a certificate? Well, this percent got a certificate for the women. This percent got a certificate for the men. So when I add those together, I get, what's that, 46.8? So 46.8% of all people who took the test got the certificate. So a little bit under half. So you're kind of doing a percentage of a percentage. So when you enter that on the bubble sheet, if this is a free response, you just put in 46.8. There's no percent symbol on the SAT answer document. Now, number 8 kind of plays off of that question. It says, what percentage of those, so here's the kicker, what percentage of those who received a certificate? Well, we know the percent. You know, these are the people that received the certificate. All right? Out of those people, of those who received the certificate, how many were men? This was my men number. So I'm going to divide that out. 18.2 divided by 46.8 equals, I'm getting 0.3 and then a whole bunch of 8s. So we're looking somewhere, scratch that, we're looking somewhere at about 38.9%. Yep, and it just says 1 decimal place. So that's the correct answer for number 8.